Alright, let's try this again. What's up, folks? This is One Big Bug, and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. And the reason I say let's try this again is I was in the middle of recording, and my headset, the sound card in it just crashed. and things really got messed up. Nothing like real terrible, but things just was like, I ain't working. So this is probably the only video that's going to go up today. I was up really late last night. Didn't get up till later in the day. Went to try to get my medication, and even though the store was open, the pharmacy was closed, which was really disappointing. So I gotta go back out tomorrow. I would be lying if I said I'm a little worried at not having my medication already, but what is what is. And I'm just feeling a little less energetic today, so it's a little bit of poor form on my part to not put out my customary minimum 2 videos, but we all drop the ball once in a while, and today I am actually choosing it to be my day, and I apologize for that. We will be back in form tomorrow. I will be getting back into Hearthstone. I've been playing Hearthstone, don't get me wrong. I just haven't been recording it lately, because my daily quests come up really late at night, and I've just been doing them and not recording them, so... Anyways, bless you. Our current job is a coal car from Bochum to Tripoli, $22,255. We should be actually getting a good roll with our new driver soon. Anything else I can think of? Not off the top of my head. Okay, come on, Fraps, bring those frame rates back. Come on. Come on. Alright. I don't know what's been going on with Fraps lately. It hasn't, like... it hasn't been... when I start up the game, it just doesn't want to be there. Okay, yeah. The reason I'm looking when I'm backing up is because if there's a car back there, it could easily just pull forward, and I wouldn't see him. You see, like, that car on the right-hand side of my mirror there? Yeah, so I want to make sure I wasn't backing up. Let's see. I was really hoping to go, but... of course I get this shit. Which means when I pull out, I'm going to have to do a lot more straight. So there's a good chance we'll actually finish this run today, because even though it says we've got, really far distance to go, the truth of the matter is that a good part of that distance is a ferry run. So it's all going to depend. I may, I'm not 100% sure how I want to do this yet. I actually got a message back from Jazzy Cat when I said that I couldn't get his other thing to work. He said, oh, well, you either don't have the most updated map or it's a conflict because all my stuff works together. And I'm like, well, I don't have any other trailer mods. I took out all my TSM mods. I took out my Furman mod. I took out any other trailer mod because I decided just to go with the Jazzy Cat mods. So I don't have any other trailer mods, and I do have the most updated version of Truck Sim map. So, I don't know, but it's fine. It's only a few extra trailers that get added. I may try again later, and what I'll do is I'll actually save the game in a separate save file, and I'll save the other two items, so that way if things do go wrong, I can always just come back to that save file. I'll try and update TSM again. That could be the issue, because I don't have any other trailer mods. I have none, so I can try one more time. Unfortunately, there's been no updates on American Truck Simulator. There's been no release date mentioned, even though they said it's supposed to be out in January. You figure if it was, they'd have already announced when it was coming out, yeah? At least that's my thought. So I'm wondering if it's not coming out in January, which, in all due honesty, for me, would be great, because if it came out in January, I don't know if I'd be able to get it. And I really want to be on the release date of that game. You know, I really want to be on the release date of that game. I'm over pretty far. My trailer is still, like, in the grass. I'm interested to follow up with my doctor on Friday for once. I'm usually not a big fan of going to the doctors unless something, you know, fairly significant happens. Since my leg issues, and I talked about, you know, really wanting to get my health back and lose weight and get back in shape while I still can. You know, it's also made me come to realize that I'm not as strong as I used to be in terms of, like, my internal health. You know, I've always prided myself, and that's always what led to me not really caring about losing weight too much. I always prided myself on how healthy I was, even though I was as big as I am, that the only health problem I did have was my weight. You know, I don't have diabetes. I didn't have high blood pressure. The reason I say I didn't is because I actually might now. You know, I didn't have any other problems associated with being overweight, you know, except for, like, you know, walking around for an extended period of time. And my legs were never really that good. But that was it. And so I chose to ignore the issue, and I really shouldn't have. The stupid thing is, you know, you realize the things you shouldn't ignore a little too late. I didn't realize I still had my lights on. Hopefully we just get some nice, we just get some really nice highway runs in. You know, I'm really thinking I'm going to take the military trailers out of the traffic. I'm not fond of what I'm seeing going by. It's going by a little too much for me. So I'm probably going to take that mod out. Fortunately, Jazzy Cat now separates them. Yeah, he puts the traffic mod, so you see the trailers in traffic and then the trailers themselves in two separate folders. So you can choose to install them or not. I wanted to try it, and yeah, it's not my personal taste. Loan installment. That's fine. Must be hill climbing and not really realizing it. Not gaining much speed. I mean, granted my RPMs are a little low, but I'm still in my power. So it shouldn't be that bad. Got a lot of nice skins coming up for Friday. Got a lot of nice skins coming up for Friday. Including, I think we got at least one for the Renault Magnum. And we've got at least one for Ivecos. So we got a lot of really good skins coming up for Friday. And I'll be honest, I haven't been playing my showcase. I haven't been playing my... Yeah, it's a little risky. What the hell did you just do? Caused me to lose everything. Thanks. But there's a lot of truck mods that are coming out, different trucks, and I would actually like to get into those as well. But again, I wouldn't know how to work those in, because I've got a lot of games I want to show already. I want to get Hearthstone back going. I still like doing Binding of Isaac, even though I haven't for a little while. Starbound and Sir, You Are Being Hunted. I don't know, that game doesn't seem as popular as it should be, and I'm not talking about just my channel. I'm talking about overall, like the subreddit for it's really small. I don't know, just it doesn't seem as popular as it should be, and I really think that that's a shame, because it's a really great horror survival game, you know. It's got some of the most realistic AI in terms of, you know, things hunting you that you'll ever find. And it's only an alpha. You know, this is an alpha release. This isn't even beta yet. This is how good this game is already. If you light a fire anywhere, day or night, hunters and anything for a good mile around you will start heading in your direction because they can see the fire. You know, extremely realistic. And the fact that as you succeed, the difficulty... Whoa. I was not prepared for that corner. Fortunately, there was nothing on my left. As you succeed, the difficulty ramps up. More bots. More, like the first couple pieces of the items that you need to gather, they're unguarded. You just have to find them. Well, after you gather just a couple of those pieces, then they're always guarded. You have to deal with the guards. And then there's the hunting parties, and then the dogs that start coming out. All kinds of things, and starts ramping up. And this is just the beginning. I mean, the poacher, if you watch my recent one where I want to show you how good I've gotten at the game, and I end up dying at the end of it, spoiler alert, but still, yeah, that poacher was just added. He was just added. So, and they keep improving, and they keep tweaking, and they listen. They listen to the people who play the game. They listen in the forums. They've already made adjustments to the poacher. You used to be able to kill the poacher with one hit of a hatchet. Well, now it takes two. So you got to make sure the poacher can't just turn around and blast you with his blunderbuss suddenly, because you don't have enough time to hit him with a second shot of your hatchet. In one of my videos, they showed that I snuck up behind him with the shotgun, and I gave him a full blast in the back with the shotgun, and he didn't even react. He just kept sneaking. Well, that's already been adjusted, and I wasn't the only one to complain about that, but that's already been adjusted. He now will react if you shoot him, and it becomes far more dangerous if you don't kill him right away, which is why in my video, when you see me approach him, if I'm going to shoot him, I will use the blunderbuss at close range to finish him off, rather than stand at a distance. Yeah. I think part of the problem I have with Sir, You Are Being Hunted, and I'm going too fast. Oops, those are lights. But part of the problem I have with Sir, You Are Being Hunted is I have this tendency to gather up all the resources as I find them. And what I should really do is leave them at the houses, and so I can come back and try and loot them later when I have more room, and to not overstock my inventory. I really think that's what I need to do, because I end up wasting a lot of stuff that I'll collect when I need to fit an item in my inventory. I really do enjoy that game. I could play it for a very, very long time if I'm not careful. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun, man. I can't even begin to tell you, just what it means, yeah? It's been, so far, a fairly uneventful run, which is nice. I would like to get in some heavier cargoes, though, even with the engine I have. You know, I did haul that 48-ton storm generator not too long ago, and did really well with it. So I wouldn't mind doing something like that again. I don't think I want to haul a 70-ton train yet. Not yet. Maybe if I get up to about a 560, I'll be like, you know, maybe I can't handle that. But until then, ain't happening. Sharp corner, so we gotta be a little careful. Also, we have speed limits, we gotta be a little careful there as well. I don't want to get a ticket. Oh well, doesn't matter too much. Toll booth. Actually, I would kind of want to be on this inside more, because I gotta get off of that exit just after the toll booth. I really love this dashboard mod. This gold dashboard with a black interior. It even puts the V8 symbol into your speedometers. I really like this. It's going to be a long month, though. It's going to be a long month for me. I'm not overly looking forward to it, if I'm to be honest with you folks. I'm not. But what has to be done has to be done. And I'll do it. Come on. Get that speed up there. It's not that heavy of a trailer. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to make the ferry or not right now. I gotta be honest, I really like the details in this game still. Like, well, let me get around these corners first. Like when looking out the back window, yeah? When going over bumps and things, you actually see the way the trailer moves. Not just turning like this, but like when you go over like certain bumps and whatnot, the way the trailer reacts. And not just the back of the trailer, but the front, where you're actually attached, to the trailer where it attaches to your truck. I really like, even those subtle details. They just make the game so much more. It's really hard to describe beyond that if you don't already understand what I mean. I thought I was going too fast. I'm getting close to my limit, which I actually got to be careful in here because I have a feeling I'm going to catch up to these cars, even just coasting. Not exactly sure how I got down to 2,870, considering I was over 3,000. But it's still okay. We're gonna make 22,000 on this run, so that's all I truly care about, is getting this run done before I run out of money. Even if you run out of money, the bank's like lenient up to a certain point, because I've had that happen before. I've actually gone into the negative, but I was almost done with a really big run, and I made like $100,000 and everything was fine. Right, I don't know what the speed limit is. That's looking like cameras. So we'll keep it. Oh, okay, it's 90. And so usually you keep it right around 90 and you'll be fine. Okay, I can get out of this lane. I gotta go this way anyways. This is gentle enough, I should be able to keep momentum. Damn toll booths. Bane of my driving existence. I'm wondering if in American Truck Simulator they're going to have weigh stations. See, I don't know what it's like in Europe, but we get random weigh stations all around the United States where trucks have to pull in and they drive over a scale and they weigh in. This is to keep, not that it's a very good system, because it's very, very random. But it's to keep and try and catch overweight trucks that don't have proper paperwork, proper signage and things like that, as well as other trucks that are, not up to the standards they need to be on the road. It's made to catch them, yeah. And I'm wondering if we're going to have to deal with that in American Truck Simulator, because I don't know if things like that exist in Euro Truck, not in Euro Truck, but in Europe. If they have like weigh stations that are randomly open and close. I got to say, my entire time living in Massachusetts and living everywhere from between New Hampshire to going down as far south as Norfolk, Virginia, I've never seen an open weigh station. Never. Not once. Never had to deal with an open weigh station. It's pretty interesting. They're mostly like bigger highways, busier thoroughfares, you would think, but one of the busiest thoroughfares, the Turnpike, called the Mass Turnpike, which is the Turnpike, Route I-95, which ran like, it was a full north to south, I think at least as far as Boston, if not further, all the way to Florida. You figure, especially traveling as far as Virginia, you'd run into at least one weigh station in like nearly 30 years, but no. Nope, never came to be. Yeah, we're fine for fuel. We still... What are we looking at on the map? What are we looking at here? You know, even if we do make it, I don't know if I'll be able to continue. It's a very short distance, though. Very, very short distance. It's going to be close. If this is the only video to go up, then that'll be fine. Okay, mouse, that's enough. Well, I need to be in this lane anyways, but it's not how I meant to get there. So, I don't know. We're still winging it at this point. There might be one more video. There might not. Bullet-style trains. I don't know, I haven't played like Team Fortress in a long time. I don't know why. It's probably still one of the most fun first-person shooters in existence right now. You know, there are cheaters and hackers on it, but they're very, very few and far between. And there's very little raging. You know, there's very little raging that I've ever encountered, at least, on the TF servers. I mean, how can you rage? It's made for fun. It's not serious. It's not competition, for the most part. You know, it's a very casual shoot 'em. That's why I've gotten out of things like Call of Duty, because even in Call of Duty, in Call of Duty, man, I rage induce, and particularly on the PC version. You know, if you do good in any capacity whatsoever, if you're a good player on the PC, you're automatically going to be accused of... that's a stiff corner. I should have been on the inside lane for that, honestly. You're automatically going to be accused of cheating and being a hacker because, hacking was so prevalent, and I don't know if it still is, on Call of Duty games, especially for the PC. Not to say that the PlayStation and the Xbox games didn't quite, they weren't invulnerable to hacking, but it was a lot less, and they were easier to deal with than PC hackers. That's one reason, again, also why I like Battlefield so much. Battlefield has its hackers, but Battlefield hackers tend to be obvious. You can actually be a good player on Battlefield and not get accused of hacking. Battlefield hackers tend to be extremely obvious, even when they're trying to be subtle. And they usually get dealt with. Punkbuster is pretty good at catching hackers and kicking them. It's pretty good. Definitely not flawless, but I feel it's really better than the Valve anti-cheat there. It's definitely better than that as far as I'm concerned. Nope, I'm moving over. Mine. Yeah, we're taking the military traffic pack out. But I just couldn't deal with the rage. I'm a toxic enough player, League really proved that. I would get really upset and angry in League, and that's one of the reasons I was glad to leave it. Finally. Was glad to get out of League. I was glad to get away from that. COD's just not much different. I still would like to play Battlefield 4, if I'm to be honest with you. I really wouldn't mind, but it's just not something I can afford. And I'm going to be straight with you. I'm having more fun playing independent games, especially considered I don't understand how this happens. I don't understand how this happens with DICE. Battlefield 4 is still broken. It still can crash a lot. You still have a lot of issues with it. I don't understand how that happens. Not with DICE. That's just really, really sick. And to me, it's a product of EA wanting to compete. I think it's EA. I mean, show you how little I know if I mix this up. But I'm pretty sure it's Activision that's COD and EA that's Battlefield. You know, and it's clearly a sign of EA wanting to make Battlefield a competitor. Too fast. With COD, you know, instead of putting a really good game out and then a bunch of really nice expansions over the course of a couple of years, making Battlefield a yearly game. That's pretty obvious, you know. And the result is what we're getting right now. Battlefield is still broken. So that's probably a good thing I don't go back to Battlefield, because it does rage-induce me a little bit. Besides, I'm not a very good first-person shooter. I don't play them enough to be a good player at it. And I always get depressed about flying. You know, I'm the type of guy, I want to fly the choppers, I want to fly the jets, but I can't. I really, really suck at it, and you can't get the practice in that you need. You really just can't get the practice in that you need. Because, you know, you try and get up in the air, that's too low. You try and get up in the air in the middle of a game and you just get shot down within 2 seconds. You know, not only that, but you're up there against guys who take this seriously. They get the whole setup. They get the foot pedals, they get the joystick, the throttle. You know, they get the whole deal for flying, where me, I have a Logitech F310 controller. You know, so I've always gotten a little bit depressed about that, not being able to fly. How bad is this hill, man? It's like I'm losing so much speed, but it doesn't seem like it's that bad. Yeah, we're gonna need a rest stop soon. We're gonna need a rest stop soon. We're gonna need a rest stop soon. So put my lights on, because it's either gonna getting real dark real fast, or it's gonna rain soon. I'm leaning towards rain. Alright, where are we in terms of the map? Yeah, we're not gonna make it. So there's gonna be one more video. So we're gonna make this rest stop, and then that'll be it for this video. And then in the next video we'll finish the run. I always forget what buttons I bind my keys to. I don't need to fuel up. I think I'll be okay until I get to Tripoli, which, actually, let me double check the map one more time. Go to Tripoli. There is a gas station, but it's this way, and there's no guarantee that I'll actually get to go that way again. So I may just fuel up at this station before I rest. is going to be really hard hitting for my wallet. Whoa, way too fast, dude. Way too fast. Going downhill. Slow down. I keep thinking the Hearthstone, sometimes, man, I don't know how balanced it is. There's still plenty bugs. It was supposed to go to public release in December, and it didn't, and there's major reasons why. A lot of people actually complained, but the reality is there's still a lot of bugs in the game, and it's a very, very, very small development team. Even though it's Blizzard, it's an extremely small development team that's working on the game. So working out the bugs and getting things balanced, proves to be an issue. But I don't know, there's still some things like Pyroblast. When a mage only has to get you down to 20 health and they can finish you from there, that just seems a little strong. Even though it has to be two turns into the late game, so it's not like ultra powerful. But I don't know, it just seems like a lot. I always felt that Pyroblast should be like Mind Control. It should be a it should be, oh, really? I shifted up instead of down. It should be like a 10 mana or maybe even 9 mana, just one more. But that's just my personal opinion. I like my mage deck, even though it's a little more complicated to use. Let's just get a general idea of how long. And set the brake. We just barely fit. We barely fit into the spot. And that's with our front tires almost on top of the line. Okay, mouse. You can stop now. Thank you. Lights off. We're not going to need them by the time we wake up. Engine shut down. And let's get some rest. Oh, actually, we will need our lights, at least for a little bit. Alright, folks, so that's going to be me done for this episode. We'll finish this run up on the next one. And hopefully we'll get a nice trailer. Maybe we'll level up, but I doubt it. I'm really looking forward to getting a new engine in this truck, though. That's for sure. But other than that, that's going to be it. If you could leave a comment, rate, and or subscribe down below, that would be fundamentally, amazingly awesome. I have no idea what that meant, but it would be awesome either way. Until next time, One Big Bug again, signing out, and I'll see you on the road.